Now that we've finished rebooting, what are some of the things that we're accessing our system, what are some of the things we need to know about working with it now that it's a domain controller?
Sure. I think the first cool thing is the fact that when you first log on, it's not going to accept your machine administrator name anymore because now you're in a real domain. So now what we have to click on use another account and say BI Contosa administrator. And the reason why you need to do that is because now that it's a domain controller, a lot of the local machine accounts that you have are now really domain accounts. Because we're on the actual domain controller, that means local accounts are no longer there. So for example, you'll notice some things that are maybe a little bit different when you go in and look at your configuration, where normally you would see users as an option off of your configuration is no longer there anymore because there are no local users because we're sitting on a domain controller. Now when we go to add users, we have to go in through the Active Directory users and computers options and enter in users that way. So the first thing you would want to do is you would want to do a start administrative tools and then notice all of these new Active Directory options that will show up on your computer icon. And now you have Active Directory users and computers that will show up, and recognize that out of contosa.com is where the various users will actually be stored. So once here, then you can go in and click users and see the various users that are in your domain, and you'll notice what was your machine administrator is now a domain administrator. And then from here, you would go ahead and select a new user and create a new user. We'll pick a Sally Smith. And we give her a name of SSMITH just as a username for Contosa. And you see she now has a log on of BIContosa.smith.com as for what she can do. And we'll say that the password never expires so that she can change it herself. We create the user. So now we have Sally Smith. The other thing that's kind of interesting is because of the way this process works, if I want to add Sally Smith as a domain administrator, I come in here and say add to group, and then I can add her to the group that I want to add, which is domain and now Sally is now a domain administrator, and since we're all on a local machine, she's now the machine administrator, and I can log off and log back in as her, and that's how we'll do our product installations off of there. She's a machine admin, and she's all ready to go.
So if I need to create any additional accounts that have administrator permissions, do they also need to be domain administrators?
Well, since this is a single machine, if you make them administrators of this machine, they will be domain administrators. There's no notion of a separate administrator for this machine per se. Mm-hmm. So it's a domain controller. Any kind of local groups that you would create or local machine accounts that you would create are really part of the domain. That's why that disappears off of your regular server manager and you come in and do it here. Okay?
Thank you.
Very good.